Hello, good day everyone. My name is Karmili T. Gerona, and for this video, I am thrilled and excited to present to you my Reading Intervention Field Practicum plan that I have made over the past 6 weeks in this year. So this is designed for the grade 10 students here at Balisil National High School. So I will be presenting the different strategies I have made and also the tools that help the students to improve their reading skills and also to overcome the reading difficulties they have experienced. So to start with this video, let me first present to you this the table of contents for this video. So before we dive in, we will be discussing all of this here. So first one, I will talk about the brief introduction of RIFP. Next is I will be also talking about the reading intervention plan that I have made before I did something or I made some changes with this plan. Third one, I will also discuss the reading assessment tools that I have chosen for the students. The highlight of this video will be the weeks 1 to 6 reading intervention. So I will be presenting just a summary of what I did in the 6 weeks for the students. And the seventh one, to conclude, I will be talking also the conclusion and the reflections that I had made after the intervention. And lastly, I will also be showing pictures I will be also showing the documentary of the different weeks that I have did this video. So let's first begin with the brief introduction of our IFP. So first one is the Reading Intervention Field Practicum is for 6 weeks program, and this is to address the reading difficulties of grade 10 students at Banisil National High School. So if you're familiar, this is at General Santos City here in Barangay Tumbler. So this focuses to the 5 students. So after the field area, I have seen that there are 4 instructional level readers and also and just 1 non-reader in that class. So we will be engaging with how they struggle with the fluency and their comprehension skills. Also, so this program, the RIFP, is designed to improve their reading skills, specifically their fluency, comprehension, vocabulary, and to boost their confidence and motivation to love reading. So just a brief background, I will be having these strategies for the later topics. So these activities are tailored for one-on-one support, and it could be also vocabulary building games, guided reading, and regular assessments. And also I will be use evidence-based such as the Field ERI, CRLA, and running records. So that's it for the brief introduction of RIFP. Now let's also move on to the weekly overview of the plan. So these are the plans that I have made when I have diagnosed them with their reading difficulties. There are 4 instructional readers, and there is only 1 student that is a non-reader among the 45 students of my English class. So this is my initial plan. So first one, I thought I will be doing in the week 1, I will be diagnosing them, and I will use assessment and goal setting. For the week 2, I plan for fluency development through repeated and time reading. So those are the strategies that I have did for the I plan to make. And for the week 3, I plan to build the vocabulary and contextual learning. Next is for the week 4, I have planned to improve the comprehension to make some comprehension strategies with guided reading. And for the week 5, I plan for critical thinking and text analysis. And for the last one, to end the 6 weeks intervention. So I will end it with a review of the past lessons and post assessments. So these are just the initial plan that I have made. So for the assessment tools, these are the different assessment tools that I have used for the RIFP. So first one, Field ERI. So the first one is Field ERI. So to assess fluency and comprehension. So I did this to see if the students have problem with fluency and comprehension. Next is CRLA. And this one is to see really what specific reading skills that the students struggles with in reading. So I use the CRLA. Next is the running records. So for you who don't know what is running records, so running records in order to monitor the fluency and the accuracy of the students in decoding their reading skills. Next is the weekly quizzes. So at the end of every week, so I used some weekly quizzes in order to assess if the students have learned something in the strategy that I have did, and if they have learned some new skills and attitudes for reading. And for the last one, I did vocabulary tests. So this one is to measure word recognition and context usage. This is to see if they have understood the meaning of the word or the context that the reading has made. So now, for the highlight of this video, I will be talking about the 6 weeks intervention that I did. So the first week is, let me change my, okay, so for the first week, we have your vocabulary building in Word. So in this one, I will be talking about the focused activities that I did and what are the learning outcomes that happened in that particular week. So just a brief background. For 1 week, there's two sessions. So everything that will be presented here is good for 2 sessions. So I just summarized it already. And please take note that this was did for 2 sessions in 1 week. So for the week 1, it names as vocabulary building and word. So for the focus of this week, so to assess the reading abilities and begin some reading activities to improve vocabulary and word recognition. So this time we did some assessment first, and after that the second session is the start of the official strategies. So for the activities, we conducted field area pre-assessment for the first session and CRLA to see the reading level of the student. For the session 2, we use flashcards. So the flashcards with pictures. So in order to build their word recognition, I use some flashcards and pictures and their definition to teach vocabulary to the students. Next is we also introduce word maps in order for the students to visualize and see. So I believe that the students can learn more if they can see and hear the words. And for this, and lastly, so students practice reading level short stories aloud to improve recognition. So that's it for the activities. And for the outcomes, so the instructional reader showed early signs of confidence and progress. So this time, I really tried to boost the confidence of the students in just the start of the intervention program, because the students, when they first heard that they will be in this intervention, they were so shy, they don't want to join. But I encouraged them to try, and it's for them. And I did some reward. I give them some rewards. So I will say that I will really give you plus points in my class in English if you will try to do it, and I will give them rewards such as foods, since kids love foods. Okay, for just a documentation, I have your pictures for what I did for the week 1. Now let's proceed to the week 2. So I named it as reading fluency and confidence building. So for this one, the focus of this is to improve the fluency through reading aloud, activities with expressive reading practice. So in this week for the session, I tried the students to read aloud some short passages. For the activities, so the students participated in read aloud sessions using dialogue-focused short stories. So those short stories that is conversational. Next is we also use audio recordings to model fluent reading with proper expression. So we use some audios for the student to see how that specific word to pronounce. Next, instructional readers took turns reading dialogue, parts aloud, focusing on tone and their pacing. Next, the non-reader engaged in echo reading, repeating lines with support. So for this one, the non-reader just echo. So when we read something, he also read it. Okay, for the outcomes, the instructional readers gain confidence, fluency, and smooth reading. And the non-reader showed improvement, engagement, and attempt to mimic fluent reading. Just fluent, not being fluent, but just mimicking the other students. Okay, so here are some pictures for documentation. For week 3, so I named it comprehension strategies and story reconstruction. So let's have our focus. So for the focus of this week, so to enhance their comprehension through short story analysis and key elements identification. So for the activities, we introduced story reconstruction worksheets to break narratives into beginning, the middle of the story, and the end. And also we conducted think aloud sessions. So the student think and they express their opinions if they have opinions in a specific passage. Next is the students also collaborated in pairs. So the 5 is grouped in 3 and 2 to discuss story details and complete worksheets. For the activities, I used visual aids to support the reader's participation. And for the outcomes, so the students better understood the narrative, structure, and key story elements. For the week 4, I named it interactive reading and engagement. So for the focus of this, so in order to engage students with audio-based guided reading and comprehension exercises. So for the activities, these are the activities for 2 sessions. We used a website in the internet for better engagement, it named Story Nori audio stories to enhance listening and reading fluency. Also, I used paired audio playback with guided reading text for simultaneous listening and following. Also, students answered comprehension questions during group discussion because I have observed here that the students like group discussions when they are not doing it all alone. So they like to do it by group or by pair. And for the non-reader, she participated in listen and repeat exercises to reinforce recognition. So this is really one of the challenge because the four students are in the same. They can somehow understand, but just there's a problem with comprehension and there's a one non-reader. So I have separate activity for the non-reader since somehow the non-reader can't follow up with the instructional readers. And for the outcomes, increase engagement and interest in reading. So using phones or internet, though it made the student to be interested more in reading. And also instructional readers demonstrate better comprehension through their intervention skills and remained challenged. So these are the pictures for the week 4. Let's proceed with the week 5. So I named it vocabulary games and critical thinking. So for the focus of here, so it's to build vocabulary through games and foster critical thinking in text analysis. So I had games. I incorporated games for week 5 because I know who are kids who doesn't like games. So for the activities, I use the word search puzzle to reinforce new vocabulary from stories. So word search and also a crossword puzzle to connect vocabulary with the story elements. So it could be the characters, settings in the story, the simple elements, and the plot. And also, I facilitate Socratic questioning for students to infer meanings and analyze text collaboratively. So after the game, ask question. After the reading of the story, ask question. And for the non-reader, she received one-on-one guidance to solve specified puzzles. For the outcomes, instructional readers displayed improved vocabulary recognition and critical thinking. So for the instructional readers, actually, they are somehow quite okay and good, but there's really a problem with their comprehension because of the limited vocabulary. So with this intervention, they started to gain more vocabulary words, and I believe that after this, I encourage them to read more in order to understand the text. And for the non-reader, at least she gained confidence in participating activities with her classmate. Okay, here are the pictures for the week 5 and for the last week. So last week I named it review and post test. So this is the last week for the intervention plan. So for the last week, the focus of here is just to see if they have learned and evaluate the overall progress. And for the activities, so we revisited some stories from the previous weeks, and also I asked the students to make comics to illustrate their learning journey for this intervention plan because I like comics and I showed them how to do it. So I want them to see, and I saw that there's a student there who likes drawing, so I incorporated drawing in my intervention plan. And also we conducted the field area post test to measure if they improve with their fluency and comprehension skills. And also we did the weekly comprehension quiz tested literal, inferential, and critical thinking skills. So we just did the assessment for the past weeks. And for the outcomes, the instructional readers showed significant progress in reading fluency and comprehension. For the non-readers, so at least she exhibited growth in recognizing basic words, and also the best part is he can recognize words and phonic sound in participating in the discussion. So that's it for the week 6. So to conclude this one, I will be showing the conclusion and reflections I had for this intervention. So the conclusion for the sectional readers, they demonstrate significant progress. For the non-reader, progress from letter recognition in stories or passages, and encourage by using the journals or assessment. And for the appendices, okay, these are the different pictures with my reading specialist. So I am not alone in this journey. I have a reading specialist who is with me from the first week until the very end. And also thank you for the Banisan National High School principal and the teachers who have encouraged me and helped me throughout the whole week. So thank you so much for listening in this video. Thank you so much, Sir Pon. And that's it for my reading intervention field practicum plan for grade 10 students. That's all. Thank you so much and goodbye. Goodbye.